Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in to another Andy's free guitar charts video uh, free lesson on my guitar charts that I make. And of course they've changed over the years. I try to simplify them. They get complicated again. I try to simplify them. So thanks for tuning in, YouTube subscribers and Facebook friends, and anyone else who's happened upon this video. This is chart number 153, and it's called Cage Linked String Shapes Connectivity. Okay, so what are the string shapes? This is something that I wouldn't say that I invented it, although I am somewhat of an inventor, since I kind of invented the guitar notes on the guitar, at least the piano shaped notes and the coloring and la de da. But for purposes of our lesson, the string shapes is a concept that I came up with, and it just kind of came through the the lessons and the theory. It's kind of become what it is. And the string shapes, if I was to play them on the piano, if we look at, these are the string shapes, okay, and what they are, this is the four pattern string shape map, but it's easier to look at the string shapes up here on some sort of a fretboard here. The difference between this fretboard and the ones that I usually have up is this one doesn't start on the C cage. Okay, so there's no fret nut there. There's no fret nut anywhere here, but if we were to put a fret nut there, it would be right there, and we could say that that would be root position right there. So that would be kind of actually that fret nut would be, let's make sure we don't get confused on this. That fret nut would be right here. Now the guitar has a few problems. Call them peculiarities. They're really not problems. And one of those is that there's the tuning difference between the fourth and the fifth string, which is only a major third. So if this note here was root, okay, in the fourth string, the fifth string would be a third above it. But normally in the other five strings, the relationships are between the fourth, the fifth and the sixth string, that's 1. Between the first and the second string, 2. Between the second and the third string, that's 3. That's the third interval. Between the third string and the fourth string, that's 4th interval. Okay, there's 4 intervals that are perfect fourths, not 5. So we have, if we start here, root, we have a perfect 4 there. Find another root, we have another perfect 4 there. And then we find another root up, let's see, we're here, we need a root on the, a root on the, oh, we're in drawing mode. How nice. Yeah, that's our fret up there, and we're going to talk about that in a minute. Okay, finally I can drag my keyboard. So if we have another root there on the third string, we have another interval there. I didn't mean to interrupt things. A lot of things when you're working on guitar and trying to go through the entire cycle, the circle perhaps, you get interrupted in the middle. The strangest things happen. Like I was trying to work something out today, and all of a sudden my wife started splashing Clorox on the doorway. Sorry, I got to do this. And I got about 2 positions out of 5 done. So with guitar, it pays to realize that you got to keep on concentrating. You can't break into a little musical thing unless that's what you want to do. Before you're done, so to speak, before you go around the circle here. So this is the string circle, and there's only five string shapes, and that's C, G, D, A, E, and we could talk about how to remember them, make them easy. But anyway, as far as the tuning intervals, so we've got a perfect fourth between, let's call this string 1, because it's the lowest string. Perfect fourth between 1 and 2. Okay, find a root over there, so we can just look at that R4. Here's a perfect fourth between strings 2 and 3. Okay, and then between strings 3 and 4, we have a perfect fourth. Okay, but now if we find a root here on string 4 between 4 and 5, we only have a perfect third there. And then up here again between 5 and 6, we go back to perfect 4. So we had 4 versions of perfect fourths and 1 interval of perfect thirds, of a perfect third. Okay, so that's one of the peculiarities about the guitar. The other peculiarity was that with the fret nut, when we look at, this is the E box, and we're going to see this defined many places in my lecture series, right? So this is the E box, but the fret nut, if you were to draw it at the end of a fretboard here, is here, and we can't access these notes. That's the other that's one of the other peculiarities. There's plenty of peculiarities, but a lot of them, such as this kind of missing fret here, where we don't have a shape there except for the D shape, covers that, but we don't have exact connection between fifths and fourths here. E is the fifth of E is B, but we have to take it to a C. The fourth of C is F, but we have to take it to an E, and that's a ramification of this third over here, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm not sure how that's going to happen. I'm almost positive. What I'd have to do is do an entire fretboard in P4 tuning and do a complete analysis on everything, and that's no fun because you lose the familiar chord shapes. So some of the peculiarities about the guitar are just consequences of one peculiarity, which is the tuning third. The other peculiarities, such as where the fret nut is, okay, that doesn't really propagate, because what happens is the E box that's up here, we can access those notes and we can use the string shapes there. So what are the string shapes? Sorry we didn't get to that. We can start over here and let's just pretend that we can access these notes. And if we had to draw a fret nut, it'd be kind of complicated here, right? Because if I draw a fret nut here, right, what does that make our low E? What is E the seventh of? Okay, E is the seventh of the key of F. Okay, so let's look at that. It'd be root, the fourth of root. This would be a B flat here, and notice that's not like a dark colored accidental B flat. We've gotten away from the colors, although I will show on my guitar these notes don't change. So you don't see any numbers on here because I don't want to be just in one key. I could put the numbers on here to be any key. If I had computer display here instead of just lamination here or whatever it is, strip colored fret strips here, right? These inlays. If I could just change it with a computer program, to change those numbers, that would be fine.